Xenu. In Critical Q&A number 342, you talk about the original and the revised versions of OT8. My question is whether you have heard about this interpretation before, whether you know/believe/guess it to be widespread among independent Scientologists, and whether you find it likely to be whispered about within Scientology itself. The interpretation is this. The religious conspiracy Hubbard was fighting against is very real, and the original OT8 is the true OT8. The revised OT8 is simply a cover-up, signifying that David Miscavige is a suppressive person and that the Church of Scientology has fallen so badly that it is now a part of the religious conspiracy which Hubbard was fighting against. Thus, it is the duty of every true Scientologist and follower of Hubbard to fight against the Church of Scientology. I'm asking because the revision of OT8 seems like the perfect platform for a theological schism, just like the ones that in the past tore the Christian churches apart. Oh, right. Thank you for this. And you're absolutely right. This is the kind of thing that creates schisms, and denominations and sects and all of that were created over exactly this kind of ideological or faith-based, disagreements. And on this take of OT8, yeah, there are definitely people who believe that the original bulletin and the original version of the level is what Hubbard intended. Now, what everybody is missing there, in terms of everybody being these independent Scientologists, is that Hubbard never put OT8 together in the first place. It was all done after the fact of his death, and that there was no OT8. There was a bulletin. I mean, this bulletin that Hubbard wrote it's dated 1980. It doesn't give you the procedure or rundown for OT8. It's a bulletin about Hubbard and his beliefs and his future goals. Excuse me, and it's about that kind of stuff, right? It's kind of it's a ice water dip. It's a reality adjustment. It's a, hey, you've been seeing black this whole time. Well, guess what? It's actually been white. Lucifer's the good guy, and that's me, and I've been out here, saving the world and I'm the light bringer, and the Markabian forces are conspiring with the invader forces to, keep everybody, all the sentient thetans in this universe, keep them enslaved in bodies and keep them stuck here, and I've uncovered this truth, and I'm the person who's gonna, lead the revolt of the thetans against the fight the powers that be, and then let's turn this universe around, right? Because we're all being suppressed into this condition. This is Hubbard's whole story, and how Hubbard presents himself. And so, these diehard independent Scientologists, who, there's probably about 10 of them. I mean, we're not talking about a large group of people here. Believe that Hubbard was actually the savior and that his work was corrupted and tainted and taken over. And you have different interpretations of this conspiracy idea. There are other variations of this. There was the idea that Hubbard was replaced by a body double in 1974, that everything that the church produced after 1978 is a corruption of the tech. I mean, there are different points on the timeline where they point to and go, it was all good until this moment or until this time period, and this is when it all went to shit. And, what can I say? I mean, there's just levels of denial on top of denial on top of denial there. Scientology has never been anything but shit. But, when people believe something and they have to believe it, then they can do that. Remember, and this is the thing that I always wanted to highlight when this kind of stuff comes up is we make ourselves stupid in order to hold on to a belief. Your brain, your mind, your rational thinking, whatever, your brain didn't evolve to do rational thinking. Your brain evolved to tell you stories about reality, to interpret your vision of reality in a way that makes sense to you so that you can survive and navigate the world and keep going. That's what it's all about. It's not about objective truth or rational thought or things being true. It's about things making sense, and those are two different ideas. And so you can glom onto, because this is why I harp on this, because this is how conspiracy theorists, and this is where they live, is it's all about motivated reasoning. It's like, I've got to believe this outcome, this conclusion, this thing is true. I must believe L. Ron Hubbard. I must believe that what he said was true, because otherwise my experiences are invalidated, or somehow it all falls apart, or my worldview collapses. And people don't want that. Who wants their worldview collapsing? You know, who wants their tried and true beliefs to be, actually thrown in the mud? Nobody wants that. People resist that. They fight that. And so that's where these, conspiracy ideas come from, is this desperate attempt to make it make sense so that Scientology can still be true. It has to stay true. And in order for it to be true, reality be damned. And that's how this crap works. So, do I think that this conspiracy has gotten into Scientology itself? No. Amongst Scientologists, they can't be talking about this stuff this way. Amongst OT8s, maybe, but how many OT8s are there? Again, we're talking about a small number of people. But it is pretty widespread amongst the independent Scientology field. This kind of conspiracy theory I see, all throughout there. And it's one of the reasons why I reject the whole independent Scientology movement so blatantly, is because it's just so irrational. There's just nothing really rational going on there. And, that's my take on it. So there you go.